Ferhat Abbas was descended from an Algerian rural family ruined by French colonization. He did military service from 1921 to 1923, and then moved to the pharmacy course at the University of Algiers, which ended in 1931. During this time, he fell in love with politics and was leader of several Muslim student movements. He approached the Algerian youth movement, which was in favor of greater integration of the Algerian elites, but without losing their cultural heritage. In 1933, he became municipal councillor, and the following year, general councillor. He joined the Federation of the Indigene elect, created in 1927, but in 1941 he was appointed to the Algerian Financial Commission, a position he resigned a year later. 2 years later, he wrote the Manifesto of the Algerian People, which breaks with the question of assimilation, evoking the idea of an Algerian state protected by France and allied to it. The following year, he created the movement Friends of the Manifesto and Freedom AML, opposing Messali Hadj and his PPA, the Algerian People's Party. At the end of 1955, he joined the FLN, being part of the Algerian Provisional Government, being elected president of the latter in 1958 for diplomatic reasons. After independence is excluded or self-exclude from the FLN, being arrested in 1963 and sent to exile in the Sahara until 1965. During the 1980s, it criticized the corruption of the Algerian state and its bureaucracy, dying in 1985. Messali Hadj, war name of Ahmed Messali, was born into an Algerian Muslim family. Member of the French Communist Party since 1925, the following year he joined the North African Star, satellite organization of the PCF in the Maghreb. Becoming Secretary General of this movement in 1927, he made a speech in Brussels referring for the first time to the independence of Algeria. In 1935, he abandoned the communists and approached the Islamists, returning to his country in 1936, where in the following year he created the Algerian People's Party, PPA. Extinguished by the French in 1939, in 1946 he returned to the cargo, creating the MTLD, keeping the PPA in hiding. 8 years later, in 1954, the FLN was born from a split within the Hadji movement, something that he sees as a betrayal, originating in reaction to the Algerian National Movement, MNA, which will clash with the FLN. After independence, he went into exile in France, where he died in March 1974, and his body was repatriated to Tlemcen.